welcome to the stream. Took me a while to get set up. I slept in on Sunday. Oh. How's the sound mix? I'm using the same settings as last time. The mic's right here, music's playing. The mic should be well above. I think I need to push it a little bit more. Cool. Thank you, Designation Rock. What's up, Lala? Alright, so before we get started with the building, I'll have to build the HJ-75 again because I wasn't informed that the client wanted indicator LEDs. So it's the... show you this. So the HJ-75, that's bright. There's 3 spots for indicator LEDs here, and if you don't install it first, you'll have a lot of issues on soldering, desoldering. Unfortunately, I lifted a pad in that process, so I had to get a new PCB from TX. Luckily, they had some in stock, and I'm just going to be doing a full rebuild of it. I had my buddy desolder it. I've been practicing desoldering, and unfortunately, it's a bit tough for me still. I'm getting the hang of it. I want to practice more using this pump rather than going straight to the desolder tool. I feel like if I can get a handle on this pump, I will be able to reliably desolder with any tool available. But soldering is pretty straightforward. My buddy showed me this image today, or the other day, and I thought it was really good. That pump is very big, I know. It looks very strange, but the larger the pump, the larger the reservoir, there's more air in here to suck. So, very strong suction power out of this large pump. Let me see if I can show you the window capture. Finally. Alright, so this is the graphic. I'm more focused on this right here. Because a lot of people ask these questions all the time, and I've experienced it, but I didn't know why. And having some time on showing in a graphic that's easy to look at rather than looking at a video, it's pretty helpful. So soldering, chisel tip better than the pointed tip for sure. I have a pointed tip unfortunately, but it'll still work. And having this kind of holder where it's suspended is better, so it doesn't heat up the holder, because the iron is touching something. You can burn yourself on that. And I guess this graphic is for the desolder tool. Using a desolder tool to solder is not good. You use a regular iron. I will share the link for the graphic for sure. Save this. I'm saving it on my desktop. So yeah, you heat the pad. So basically you heat the pad between the pin. The iron goes in between the pin and the pad, so you can heat up both components. If you just heat up the pin, it won't stick to the pad, so it'll end up floating like this cold joint. So this cold joint right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Let me make sure you can see my mouse. Oh, you should be able to see my mouse. So on the bottom, the cold joint, 4th from the left, or 3rd from the right. If the pad is not warm or hot, it won't stick to it, which means that you're likely to have a switch that doesn't work because it's not actually connected via solder. So you heat up the pad and the part, you solder around and you hold it for 2 seconds. I've never considered blowing on it. I'm sure someone has, but I don't blow on it. So it should look like this, where it looks almost like a little mini volcano. If you have too much solder, which I have done before and I didn't understand why, in the case of too much solder, the best bet is to actually get some solder wick like this right here. And you see I use it right now because I was doing some drilling earlier and I was just using the dead PCB, and not the dead PCB, it's just the freaking indicator LED's not working. I used some of these old housings I have from, I think these are Halo clear housings, because I was making Halo Holy Pandas before. I just put the bottom housing and the top housing together and just kind of mess with the pins because I don't plan on selling these. Just extra switches. Soldered it in, desoldered, and see what kind of angles using the pump worked best. Because I kind of skipped over the pump and went straight to the desolder tool. I just kept borrowing it. So I didn't learn proper desolder technique, which is probably my downfall, but we can always learn and practice. So I was just pressing on the other PCB, and I noticed that when I try to like By the time I would angle it, so this is the joint. By the time I angled it from here to here, it had already cooled, and I wouldn't get clean desolder. So the suction power is pretty good on the pump, so I can just leave it mostly at an angle and just suck out the solder as long as I heat up the joint, the pin and the pad correctly. If I just heat up the pin or just heat up the pad, then it'll kind of leave solder in there because it's still not molten. So yeah, that's my little thing I learned. Not perfect, I'm not the best, but I'm trying my best to learn and share with you all. And Destination Rock, yeah, that graphic is really straightforward, and this is all I really need to know for soldering. These are my questions when I had in the beginning, and it was hard to watch a video and try to learn it. So, alright. Just Say Boot says I blow on all my joints. Another technique for blowing is when you're doing ultrasonic cleaning. There's a little water that gets stuck on the bottom housing, that center column. One of my friends actually just blows that water out to dry it faster. I use a rocket blower because I have a camera and stuff. Alright, now with that tutorial out of the way, before I get into the soldering, let's just show off some of the things I got recently. Right here is the GMK White on Black R2 with the new housing. I will not eat it, sorry. Teja's already done it, so if you're really into that, go rewatch that. But some people have said this packaging is pretty trash. I agree, because when I wanted to put this back to show you all what the packaging looked like, it actually took a lot of effort, because I think the box is even thinner. So this is the packaging. This is GMK right here. My light's kind of bright. I don't know where my remote is. Let's see if I can angle it so you can see it. Let me find my remote, 1 second. I can't find the remote and my house is a mess because it's quarantine times, but I lower the light a little bit. There's just a little GMK right here. Yeah, whatever. So it's paper on top. The old packaging had plastic everywhere. So I took some of the keys out of here already. This is the second set of keys. But it's just like rough material. So let's look at the bottom. Got the white accent keys. I have the other ones on my keyboard already. I guess it's out of frame. So this is how it looks on the board. I didn't actually end up using the R2 caps. I just threw these on the white accents. But the issue is a lot of people had keycap A. Will it focus? I'm stretching so far. There we go. So the A is a little twisted, but that's been pretty common with GMK as of late. Unfortunately, I just noticed my camera's on auto white balance. I'm gonna change that because I'm not a pleb. For all the budding streamers out there, turn off auto white balance and auto exposure when you're streaming. Yeah, so the A is a little twisted, so that's one. And then number 6, GMK White and Black R1 also had this issue. Get in there. Okay, this is really hard, but that upward arrow caret thing, that's like really close to the 6. Like awkwardly close. It looks like super compressed, the legends. But it's really hard to complain with this. Oh, and the other thing was the GMK White on Black R2 spacebar, the 7U spacebar, because being longer, it was warped. Like straight up. I've already used hot water to kind of flatten it out, but it was you would press on the table and the other side would lift up. I'm like, I didn't even know ABS did that. GMK ABS, it's supposed to not do that. ePBT, the cheaper one, is supposed to do that. But still, same kind of fix works. You just heat up with water and then hold it down flat and it'll be fine. It's just, man, I'm paying for GMK. I know it's budget GMK, but their standards are really dropping, unfortunately. So if you're trying to buy new GMK, going into group buys and stuff, be wary. I've had issues on all my GMK. My GMK Mizu that I bought on extras, it had the wrong cap for one of the caps and it was too late because I bought an extras for me to fix it. and there's a scuff on the delete key, as in this is like double shot, right? So it's white, it's a white cap, and then they kind of mold the black around it so it never fades. There was a speck on my delete key where the white showed through, so the whole molding process, the mold process, they missed a spot, quite literally missed a spot, and there's a white speck that will never, I couldn't scratch it off. I thought it was dust, but it was permanently on the cap. And I don't know, my GMK Olive has been fine, but GMK Music, of course, like the colors, it was supposed to be pastel, end up being super saturated. Let's see. La Lion says, wait, was the QC on your set good? I heard people complain about some printing on them. I just explained printing's but it's a budget set. It's my beater set, so I don't really care that much. And I still have my original one if I want to mix the caps that look better. So whatever. Zion TV says, hi nerd, what's up man? Hopefully you go through that SCOG. The SCOG sounds sick. Pore O Rick says, clean looking board, thank you. Just say boot, I can't buy GMK, I use my keyboard too much, that would come glossy in no time. Especially the white on black, it's gonna shine real fast. And this is shined, just so you know. There's definitely shine around the QWERT, WASD. And see if that bothers you. Look at the E right now. You can see how the light plays with those keys differently. And on the spacebar you can tell a little bit. A little smudgy. But for me it doesn't matter that much. Especially if you don't pay aftermarket prices. If you pay like $300 for a set, it'd be very hard to use it. Because it's so expensive. Frantics asks, do you know where to find some GMK strikers? Red market, dude. And it's going to be like $275 to $300. It's really hard to justify that price. Random Box Unbox asks, are there fake GMK sets out there? There's JTK. JTK is the copycat made in China versus GMK being made in Germany. They're pretty good. The legends aren't as good. Some of them have weird kind of placement issues just like this. But it's a great alternative. Very affordable, like 100-ish, 150-ish, even on secondhand market. You shouldn't pay $200 for JTK. Zion TV says, I'm on the edge of ordering 7V. 7V is nice, but I'd rather have a board now than later. Honestly, buy the SCOG and then get the GB the 7V, and then later when the 7V comes in, if you decide to sell it, go sell it then. That's why I got the Savage 65, which I'll show next after some more questions. Nick Pham says, embrace the shine, I agree. What's up, Mushmouth? Fake GMK reps from Taobao. There are like straight up fake copycats from Taobao. We got some like fake Bento I saw. Pretty sure there's fake Striker as well. But yeah, any other questions on the packaging in this? It's just two. I'm gonna throw this in bags for real. Like, I don't like this packaging, kind of sucks. Oh, there's also Unique.net right here. Yeah, I'll show y'all. Like, if I'm gonna try to put this back in the box, it's just like floppy. Watch me struggle on stream to put. There you go. Yep, GMK went in black. Next up, Lalayan says 7V sounded pretty good on APR stream yesterday. It did. Long lead time for sure. Not my jam. I ain't trying to wait. I don't know if it's better than the SAS-75. She had the brass. Just remember my half plate FR4 on my channel. It sounds amazing. I'm pretty sure it's gonna sound very similar to the 7V if they're both foamed. Crazy Boy 1179, what's up? How many keyboards do you own? I own the KVD-C7 Mark II, which I was borrowing from a friend, but I was using it so much for my channel, I was like, I might as well just buy from him. I feel bad using his stuff and kind of making content on it. And my Satisfaction 75 is going out. I'm trading that. And I also own an IDB-60. So pretty budget boards right now. The SAS-75, once completed the trade, I'll let y'all know what I get. But I'm trading that for a Matrix 2.0 right now, and that's being traded somewhere else. Frantic said, I talked to you last night in KBT fans, and you recommended inks instead of creams. I bought 70 inks earlier today. Yes! Inks are the truth. Congratulations, you will not regret it. No one ever buys inks and says, I don't like this. Everyone goes, damn, I love inks. Alright, so we're going to showcase the green Savage 65. Just going to show you the case. I mean, the plate, I'll show you the plate too, but I've already done a full review on it. This is the green. The color is accurate. I'm looking at my camera, looking at my screen, and it matches. It's all good. No weird color issues here. FR4 is aluminum. There's no brass weight on it. There's a Canon kind of recessed design in the back. It's just solid aluminum. Dude, I don't know if UPass sent me polyfill. I need to check the box. Crazy Boy 1179 asked, when do you think is too many keyboards? I think more than 3 and you require some kind of elaborate storage system is going to be too much for most people. But if you enjoy the hobby and you like collecting, you do you. I try to keep around 3 though. So, like I talked in my review, there's that kind of brutalistic design architecture influence where it's like bigger on top. So if you like this profile, great. If you don't like it, you don't like it. He's going to make a lot of boards like this in the budget category. There's the right arrow blocker. The anode is good. It's clean all the way throughout. And considering it's a budget board, you're going to find deficiencies and kind of like nicks in the inside, which it's going to be hard to show on camera. There is a nick on in here. So where the top plate and the bottom plate meet, the top case and bottom case meet, there's a nick on the inside. And that still passes A stock, according to UPass, because it's on the inside. It's interior. It's still a budget board. If he were to kind of throw these boards out as B stock, he's going to have to charge more overall. So the outside looks clean. Let's put that aside. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to UPass because I didn't get any polyfill. I need that polyfill. Famous Last Word says, I wouldn't call it budget, mid-range for sure. I would not consider it mid-range. It's budget. It's a entry-level custom. So I got some questions. Frantics is hopping off. See you, Frantics. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, Famous Last Words wants to see the plate in the PCB. Alright, so here are the rest of the parts. I'm not going to take this out yet. I mean, I could. Let's do it on the stream. Famous Last Words, what are boards you consider mid-range? Think 6.5, E6.5? Mid-range? Alright, so the PCB is black. I don't remember what color the other PCB was. But this is black. Has a Savage right here. There's a Canon logo right here. More Canon logo. Passes QC5. Looks like there's some. You can solder in some PCBs in here, or some LEDs in here. Someone said there's no $1,000 in GB. That Evolve was gonna be $1,000. Yeah, price is relative. Mid 500 GB is mid range, I think. It can be mid range or high range. I don't know. But Savage 65 is intentionally designed to be a budget board. So the QC is there's gonna be less stringent QC. Like I said, interior is fine. Whereas high end, the interior is gonna be pristine as well. So key cult is definitely high end. Let's see. There's a lot of chat on pricing. I'll let y'all discuss. Review for the tube says should go by design and internals and how it's made. Yeah, so like the Savage 65 has no brass weight. It's just a top mount with O-rings. It's not complicated in design by any intent. it's pretty simple board. Yeah, Evolve did a redesign to bring down the price, and I don't like the redesign. Poor Yorick asks why daughter boards popular now. I don't really know. I'm really unfamiliar with daughter boards. So let's talk about let's look at the PC or the plate real quick. I got the 7U plate. Unfortunately, whoever tried to get the 6.25U, there were not a lot of 6.25Us, so they missed out on the buy. Split shift, split backspace availability. You can do split back. This looks like it's pretty locked in. The bottom row, so it's gonna be that ANSI. It looks. It's not singing. I think I have 1U here. When I did it as 1U. So arrow keys, 4 nav buttons, step caps if you want that. I don't like step caps. Yep. It's enough showing off for today. Put everything aside. And let's get cranking. Once again, I'm doing an HJ-75 rebuild. I just need to find those LEDs. I thought they were in this bag. Okay, I have 3 LEDs here. Okay, let's check the chat real quick. Crazy Boy 1179, is that a person behind me? Yeah, my fiance is playing Animal Crossing. Alright, so I don't know where my LEDs are. I have exactly 3, so let's hope I don't mess up. To prevent that, the last time I built it, I put the LEDs in the wrong orientation. So let's take a look at that again. Review for the tube. Sorry, I missed that. What's up? What's up, man? Solji Osu says, I just realized you can make 2 different PCB plate plus switches combinations to switch them out on your plate or your board whenever. That is true. I'm just trying to pull up this graphic, but it's not working. Yeah, this site is down. Alright, I can't show the graphic, but the longer end goes into the positive part, or the positive side. So on here, let's see if you can see it. Positive, negative. So the long end goes in and over here. So we're gonna do that before we put it on the plate. Zon TV asks, how was it to type on the SCOG? It felt like a nice, heavy top mount TKL. They all kind of sound and feel the same. The sound's gonna differ a little bit on the plate design, but it was solid. If I wanted a TKL right now, I'd get it. I personally sold my TKL just because I got over the size and weight, but I do miss the sound. Famous last words. Thanks for showing off the parts. You're welcome. Just trying to share what I got in. I'm not trying to flex by any means. The Savage 65 is not a flex. Neither is the KBD 67 Mark II. It may be for people who are beginning in the hobby, but it's a pretty straightforward board, pretty affordable, pretty accessible. In stock items, not a big deal. So I just hope I do these correctly. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah, positive is the long side. Longer lead is positive. I'm so paranoid because this is what screwed me up last time. Long, positive. Nick Fam as. Alright, let's see the chat. I have the chat down here so I don't have to look up. Lala Islands asks if he's buying a Skog in the aftermarket. Yeah, my buddy has a Skog for sale, so if Zion doesn't cop, it's a really good price. Message me on Discord if you're trying to get it. Porio Rick asks what favorite 3 linears, favorite 3 tactiles. Dude, there's only like 3 linears available. Real talk. Everything is a recolor. I like inks, I like alpacas, and that's really it. I'm getting rid of my creams. Alright, long, pause it. Just commit to it. $687 SC is pretty good. Hard to find. Did I move this window out? Yeah, I did move this out. Whoops. So I'm like looking up the orientation for LEDs because I'm super paranoid. Alpacas are lovely, yes. Dude, my favorite 3 linears are Everglide Red Coral, Alpaca, and Mauve. And the twist is they're all exactly the same. Yeah, don't buy alpacas on the aftermarket. Way too freaking expensive. The Mauve restock hasn't happened yet, so just keep an eye out for Canon keys. See if I can get some tape or something. Without the plate, this is just gonna pop right up. Hold this in somehow. Keycall is definitely worth it if you win the raffle, but everyone and their mom's gonna go for that raffle. As this heated up, let's turn this on. Yep. Thomas says, just chatting, you should change category. I can change it real quick. My buddy who's pretty big on Twitch said I'm gonna get better discoverability doing just chatting over makers and crafting. So I'm seeing my peak for just chatting is around 24, whereas my peak when doing makers was 49. So I'm gonna swap it real quick. I think it'll update. Alright, is that under makers or crafting right now? Let's see if the peak goes up. Yeah, we're just giving it a try, testing it out. I'm not too stressed about it, because the people that come through, they're coming not from twitch.com, but rather from the discords. Let's turn this lower. Crazy Boy 1179, what is this build for? This build is for my clients. This thing's so tiny. think I covered it. Alright. So before I go further, I'm going to test out if the LED works. So I'm going to use the on-screen keyboard because I actually don't have... I want the LED to work for scroll lock even though there's no scroll lock button. So I want the LED to work for scroll lock even though there's... Oh, I have... I'm freaking echoing. Sorry, y'all. So on screen. Alright, so USB-C, USB-C, unplug this, plug it in here. Scroll lock, num lock, scroll lock. Oh, we have light. Yes. Can you see that? Sorry, I'm covering it, I can't tell. Ah, there we go. We're doing it right. So much stress. And it's in there good. At the right height. Sorry. There we go. We're moving. It's the little things. It's quite satisfying to do something right, you know? Not mess up. Ivan asked, is this another HJ-75? No, it's the same one. After I finished it, Random Box Unbox said he wanted the indicator LEDs. I was like, ooh, I didn't check that, sorry. And that had a weird issue when we just replaced the PCB. So there's a brand spanking new PCB. I am drinking Vietnamese coffee, Lee's Vietnamese coffee. GMK or ABS shines much faster than PBT. Crazy Boy 1179, how did you two meet? Are you talking about my client or my fiance? My fiance and I met in school. She's like laughing. We met in chemistry class. She's listening and she's like QCing the story, see if it checks out. Is he lying to his chat? He's making it up. Don't trust him. She feels like my keep obsession is ridiculous and I'm wasting a lot of money and time. But I'm pretty engaged. Like, I am engaged to her, but I'm not bored during quarantine, so that's good. A lot of people are freaking bored right now, have nothing to do. College, sweetheart, not high school. We came from different cities. Good reminder, Soji. Let's snap this up. Y'all want to see the snapping on stream? Cause it's legit scary. I've done a few of them because I like TX boards a lot. but let's do this. Thanks for the reminder, Solji. I am obviously a noob. Yeah, you can use clippers to snap it off. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't like freaking bending it because there's too much torque on the long parts. So if you're confused as to how you're gonna get your clippers in here, don't use clippers, Soji. Just snap it with your thumb. And that's all I get. I snapped off a piece, but the long pieces I use, just send it. Yeah, I'm gonna send my client's PCB. Just do it once, just like a band-aid, right? Just rip it off. Okay, that just flew that way, and I don't know where it went. And if you're doing this, wear safety goggles. I have glasses. Problem for future me, yeah. Problem for a post-stream me. Yeah, I have glasses on, so. There's perforations on here, so you can just kind of twist it here. Alright, now this is a mess. I'm gonna get a paper towel. Here, can you give me a paper towel? I don't want FR4 bits everywhere. Alright, let's clean up this fiber FR4. It just stuck to the rubber. Alright. Shoot. These LEDs are not in the proper position. Crazy Boy 1179. Do exclamation mark desk. LEDs are a little bit too high, so I gotta desolder real quick. I missed. God. The desk is a battle stations meme. So I'm gonna try to desolder one pin. Cleanly. And then I'll push the other one pin through as I heat it. I call it the Reddit desk for real. So I gotta finagle this in here, and there's still like solder on the iron or on the pin. Let's see if the other pin will be more forgiving. How will this work if you have a Hako gun? I think with a Hako gun you might have to trim it, but the suction is pretty consistent on at an angle. So the pins are still long right now. I didn't clip them yet. See? So I'm like working around it. This is why I don't solder those perky RGBs. It's so not worth it. Alright, now it's out. We successfully desoldered it. Cool. Gotta get some solder onto my iron so it's hotter. Just gotta get a thin layer on there. After you clean it, don't work with it dry. Get a little bit of solder on there. Cool, we got two. Lala says not a lot of people are selling boards anymore. It's true. Everyone's already bought boards. They've already cleaned it out. But don't worry. Once the Savage 65s hit, people are going to be selling those. Unfortunately. Those two entry-level customs are definitely not worth getting an RMM, but if you didn't get in on the extras or the sale, there's not much you can do if you really want a board. Because unfortunately, it's going to be like the old way of things where it's just GB only. I lost my jewelry. Thanks for the follow. Cool. Let's test this again. Scroll lock is not popping in. check the solder on that. Oop. Thanks for the follow, Tontone. Thanks for the follow, Crazy Boy 1179. So, 2 LEDs are working. This definitely says scroll lock. Choreo Rick, why do you say that's a bold choice? I'm really confused why scroll lock is not working. Dude, I don't think people care about downvotes over the flipping. You can customize an aviator however you want. Both of my connectors are after the coils. Mr. Petrov, good morning. I'm drinking Vietnamese iced coffee. Why is this not turning on? I have another LED somewhere, so we'll try to desolder it. Let me try the software first, actually. Thanks for the follow, one blue guy. Let's see. Thanks for the cheer, Imzo. Thanks for hanging out. Nothing much. Just trying to figure out why this scroll lock LED is not working. I don't want to desolder if I don't have to. So I'm gonna open up the software and see if messing around with the settings fixes it. So this is my other cable. I do coil, device, coil, and then connector, host. Host being the PC, right? But this is USB mini. Another one for USB-C. Because this is USB-C. I don't want to keep unplugging my main keyboard. These cables are from Cup Cables. I made a video on their products before. Alright, so scroll lock, num lock, caps lock. Alright. I'm gonna mess around with the settings, see if I can show you all my screen. I'm trying to use my mouse in this like little corner and have lower send, so this sucks. Alright, light effects. Breathe. Alright, so I'm able to change the lighting effects. 80 switches for 100, yeah. Switches being more than $1 stock is ridiculous. Thanks for the follow, Dialogue 5. What am I doing here? Always on? What's up, Carroy? You made it. Alright, so let's try this again. Is that LED just dead? I'm gonna try to desolder it. See this? Scroll lock's not working. Carroy, I'm building with alpacas. The same ones Zen lubed. Alright. Software ain't helping. Let's give it another try. Alpacas cannot go without attention because Teja has already said they're the future. Thanks for the follow, one being sought. I didn't cock the pump. Oops. Prophetical, of course, you need a fume extractor. 100%. I forgot to cock it again. Yeah, don't inhale solder fumes. Cool. Clean desolder. Cleanish. It's still a pump. You could do it outside. I don't think ventilation in the room is sufficient unless you have a fan pointed directly to an open door or open window. But since I'm streaming, I definitely need a fume extractor, since it's just gonna rise up. And upstairs, there's no floor, so it actually gets into my bedroom. Thanks for the follow, Turdy Box. I didn't see the eye, so I was really confused. Yeah, don't just circulate in a room. Just spreading it around. People say like, oh, it's gonna dissipate. I'm like, no, don't do that. There we go. Yee boy. Hey, Random Box Unbox, I got your LEDs working. Hope you're happy. We're moving now. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, it was a shit LED. It was broken. These things are so cheap, man. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Let me see. Come on, camera. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing's broken in it. And I'm always paranoid that the PCB gets shorted, because if you keep messing with them, they can break really easily. Especially these. What I did the first time I built was I bent it outward, like this, kind of making a Y, and that snapped the LED. Because I would do this to try to hold it in there. And I'm like, really? That's all it took to break it? Alright, so they're sitting pretty in here. I'm going to trim off the extra pin length. We can get to the switches. Alright, I need a vacuum because there's a bunch of stuff everywhere now. Cool. Gotta take it slow, and you can learn and figure out anything. If an idiot like me can figure it out, you can figure it out too. Now I need some coffee. Luca Low asked, did I already build a salvage? I did not. I'll probably build it tomorrow. And if anyone's curious, it's under keyboard links, but I'm using... Y'all have no idea. Just hit keyboard links and find it. I don't know the specs on this, like 60/40. I don't know those numbers. The one I'm using is a little more expensive, but it is a no clean one, so the flux that's left over, you don't necessarily have to clean it, which is a good thing, because most people don't clean it. So I pay a little bit more to get that. Yeah, I remember zeros in the number. So Severian, you're probably right. Alright, so we're 1 hour in and I'm finally starting the soldering. Hopefully y'all enjoy the conversation, because this is by no means a speed build. Bamboo238 asked what plate material is that? This is acrylic. Acrylic has a very unique thock. I already have sound tests of this board, at least one from when I was using it on my channel. So if you want to take a break while I set stuff up, you can listen to that. I built it with Gateron yellows before, but the sound is going to be... You can hear the thock, so you'll understand it. Prophetical says I had a bunch of flux splash on my hand while doing it as well. I'm still recovering. Like a bunch or like a little tiny drop? It stings a little for sure. And like I mentioned before, the TX HJ-75, you have to sand down the plate if you're, or file down if you're going to use screw-in stabs, which I've done, and it sucks. It took 2 hours, so be aware if you're trying to get this unbuilt and they use plate mounts or something. It's only compatible stock with snap-in stabs. Yeah. Alright, so I got the corners in. Just gonna solder those in to get some stability, and then we'll be on our way. And ooh, good thing I have this soldering mat. So if What was I saying? If you know some other streams I was using a power bank, the power bank was not outputting enough power because it doesn't have the right quick charge technology. Yo, so easy. Thank you for this tier 1 sub. 2 months. I appreciate you, man. Yo, so easy is one of my mods. He's one of my IRL friends I met through the hobby. And he basically buys all the same boards I do. Except right now, he has a Rukia and I don't. And that Rukia is amazing. Alright. Get some solder on my iron. And like the graphic said, I'm counting to 2 to 3 every time. If I'm holding the iron there for more than a few seconds, I'm going to pull it off. Trying to get those beautiful joints. Not the 420 joints, we're talking about solder joints. For your Rick, for the solder I'm using, I'm keeping it at 330 Celsius. Prophetical says the little solders, little flux splashes. Yeah, dude. Honestly, soldering on a mat's pretty scary. Like your pretty Deskmat, because those little splashes can end up on your mat too. But I'm gonna just call it patina. Because I'm a keyboard builder. If my keyboard mat has some solder or flux splashes on it, alright. It's just part of it. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to reflow these a little bit. Make sure they're seated in all the way. Push it in as I reflow it. Or just heat up the joint again. Feels good, feels solid. I'm happy about it. Let's hit another corner. For educational purposes, let's try to get this camera tight. Crazy Boy 1179 asked, "What are my thoughts on the Evolve? The new rebuild, the new design looks bad. Go get the 7V." Bamboo says HJ-75 sounds nice. Thank you. It is a very nice sounding board for the price too. Yeah, the redesign makes it look cheap. Yep. It looks like a board that is on stilts, right? Yo, real talk, that little graphic I showed earlier, it's really helpful. It's much easier to solder using those little suggestions on time. I'll pull it up again. Dude, that graphic right there, right there. Super nice. Jank beach houses, yeah. Those little huts on the beach. I need some solder on my iron so it can actually heat up the dang joint. We're looking good, y'all. Yeah, it says use the chisel. I'm using a pointed tip and it's a little more difficult. I just found out about this graphic like last night. It's fine, you can do either. Just like you don't necessarily need a temperature controlled iron, but it helps. So if you're gonna buy it today, go for a chisel tip. Yeah, the Hako comes with a chisel tip. Crazy Boy 1179, where did I find the graphic? My buddy sent it to me to clown on me for being bad at soldering. Because I've messed up a lot of PCBs. But it's all part of the learning process. I ain't trying to tell people that I'm the best. But I'm going to try the most. I'm going to try to learn as much as I can and get better. How y'all like the close-up cam to see everything that I'm doing? Nice, good, good. I'm glad I can make it as educational as possible. I'm a heavy proponent of learning how to do it yourself. Yeah, because I used to stream like super far away and then can't really see anything. You just kind of hang out and talk, which is cool, but you can also hang out and talk and learn. You want a little closer? I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. Alright, so I'm trying to make sure dude, my hand is huge. I'm trying to line it up right here, so I'm gonna do the joints right here. It's hard for me to look at the screen and see. Let me see. I'm gonna turn off this graphic so you have more space. Right here. We'll give this a try for a few minutes. Alright, let's pop in the switches. Yeah, super zoomed. Planet Earth Keyboard Edition. So what y'all been doing during quarantine? I just watched Extraction last night, which is pretty cool. The way they filmed that movie is right up my alley. I'm very much interested in cinematography and videography. Silverian asked, for most part, do you make sure if the four corners locked in and tight to the PCB and then just blitz the rest? Yes. I want to get the four corners in so it's aligned properly, and I make sure those are fully seated and everything else in the middle should be fine. I'm gonna hit the middle too real quick. So I'm gonna hit one of the switches here, just to kind of evenly align it, because I don't want it to be tilted. I don't want it to be like this. That's the problem. So right now I'm pushing them all in, making sure they're seated properly into the PCB. So if there's any kind of like gap right here, I want to make sure they're all lined up. Lala Island said, where'd you see the movie? I saw it on Netflix. Lala, remind me where you're at again? I always get confused between, I think, you and another user. I think you and Lines have very similar PFPs on KBD fans. And I forget where y'all located. Alright, Missouri. Yeah, go watch Extraction on Netflix. Silverian says, pretend to work, then pretend to be an adult on the weekend. Dude, I feel that. Prophetical asks, how do you check if every key works? You check it with tweezers. Which I probably should have done, which I can still do now. Let's see. Forgot I didn't check this PCB. Let's pop over to Q and Pay Configurator. Get my tweezers. Put this up. Window capture. No, it's not in the theater. I was trying to test and it wasn't even connected. Awkward. So I'm gonna turn off my iron or unplug it. Turn off this fan while I test the PCB. The last time I rebuilt this, I had already tested the PCB before, so I kind of forgot. So we got the 4 corners. Thank you for the follow, Champ Chi. Alright. So to test it, I'm on QMK Configurator. And with the close-up, you can see how I'm testing it. Hit every single There we go. Prophetical, the PCB is going to work straight out. So will the KBD fans PCBs. KBD fans PCBs, they don't have the full function unless you flash it stock firmware first. I think they just give you the outdated firmware, usually. Oh crap. I hit tab and control. Yeah, so the PCB doesn't need anything else to work. This uses a form of bootloader. It's not on QMK or VIA. But it has a GUI, so it's pretty cool. It's fine. It's just not as powerful as having QMK and VIA. No, you don't have to flash it to start. Just use these tweezers, touch the pads to complete the electrical connection. With a hot swap, you can do this without tweezers. You could put the switches in, but it's better to do tweezers because if it's dead, you can contact the person who sold it to you, like KBD fans or something. Oh, a Windows key triggered. And then they'll replace it so you don't have to go through the effort of putting in your switches if it's not working. I need to hit right control and right alt. Yep, and that should be it. Hit the menu. I don't have menu. Do I have left alt? I think I hit Windows. There we go. All the keys are good. Don't worry about the red. That's more for chatter, and chatter doesn't matter if you're using tweezers. Bamboo238 says, what happened to the old PCB? I broke it. Now, the client asked to put in the LED indicators, and then I put them in backwards at first, which is why it took so much time this time. So when I put it in backwards, since we have the zoom in cam, there is a positive side and a negative side, and I put it in backwards, so when I desoldered it, I did it in a rushed manner just because I was a little bit impatient, which you should never be when you're building, and then I destroyed the pad. So destroying the pad happens two ways. You can heat it up so that metal ring is gone. Let me see. So you see there's a metal ring right here. It's a little shiny. You can lift that out completely if you overheat it more than 350 degrees, or you desolder it by heating up and pulling the part out, which will rip the pad with it. Don't do that. Desolder correctly where it just comes out easily. Yeah, so I screwed that up. But luckily the vendor had another PCB. Wasn't free, but it is what it is, and it's my fault, so I took care of it. But yeah, so now PCB is tested, we're good to go. Make sure you do that first usually. Keep dropping in switches. Crazy Boy 1179 asked if I have experience with Topper switches. I tried them in person. They're tactiles, right? All the Leopold keyboards. Yeah, Bamboo, I was very careful. I hate making mistakes, and sometimes it's stressful, but it's important to learn. No one ever does it perfectly the first time, and I'm definitely a proponent of learning things by doing. You can read all day, but until you do it with your own hands and experience it for yourself, you'll never truly understand how things get broken or how to do things incorrectly, and learn how to do it properly. So that's cool. HHKB is a really nice keyboard. I was almost gonna buy the TKL version and do all the mods for it, just for like a work board. I forgot what happened, but I ended up just I think I was using this HJ-75 actually for a little bit for my work board. I keep poking myself with a pin on the other side. Alpaca is the holy grail of switches. They are very nice. I personally prefer the sound of inks by Slim Margin. If I can't get inks, I'll deal with Alpaca. They're pretty cool. So if you've been following me on YouTube, I've been doing a lot of testing with H1s, stream as well, and the H1s sounded deeper than the MOVs when we do a switch by switch testing. But I haven't put the video up yet, but I have a video of the MOVs full board and the H1's full board, Lubed and filmed. And the average sound over the entire keyboard, even though the individual switches were deeper for the H1 versus the MOV, the average sound is the same. So really, I do think there is a small difference, but not enough of a difference for it to warrant more money, because the H1s were 5 cents more And if you're on a tight budget, Alpacas will do the same thing. So if an Alpaca restock is around the horizon, or you have the time to wait for a shipment from China, I would definitely go with Alpaca instead. Crazy Boy 1179, these are lubed and filmed alpacas. You can see the film picking out. Oh man, the zoomed in screen is nice. Zoomed in angle. Yeah, you see the white film sticking out. I had them lubed by Zentric. He's in my ATT Discord, so if you want to have him lube your switches, he's based out of West Coast. So if you're out in Cali or something like that, easy shipping. Join my Discord. It'll be !social or socials, and you can hit him up. His prices are very reasonable. My other guy has recently increased his prices, so I think I'm gonna go with Zen for any commission builds. I wonder if, yeah, type the socials. I'm gonna type social right now. Okay, yeah, that link tree will have an invite to my Discord, I believe. Yep. Should work. So the keyboard that I'm using, super zoomed in right now, is the KBD-67 Mark II with GMK white on black, R2 with the white accents. Did I say H1 switches? Yes. The KBD-67 has the H1s in there right now. My bad. Silent Impulse asked thoughts on GMK Navy. It looks amazing. Super dark, which is very, very clean and classy looking. Because I was using GMK Music for a little bit just for the mods because they were darker. And I got some lighter alphas that were not the saturated blue. Bamboo asks, how does the KBD-67 stack up against the other high-end boards? Brass does not sound as good. The hollow case does not sound as good. But this is only because I've handled $1,000 boards. Or I've handled Janes and Keycolds and those boards. Within the $400 and below market, KBD-67 is a solid contender, especially with the hot swap. I've used Savage 65 and that's actually my preference to use that board over the KBD-67 Mark II because I like a more flexible typing experience. Like Silverian said, Dark Navy is really easy to match with other boards and other caps. Hazamji, I'm gonna call it that. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. This is the HJ-75 that I'm building, so it'd be exclamation mark build. Do I think I'm short an alpaca? I think I'm short. 2. Oh no, found it. I'm gonna grab the spacebar to make sure I put it in the right spot. Spacebar has multiple options right here, so don't solder in the wrong one. Alright, I'm gonna do a be right back while I find the caps. back. I bent the pin. What tools do I have to unbend this pin? Use a tweezer should work. It's in the correct position now. Thanks for the follow, ass milk, with 2Ks. Crazyboy1179 asks, what are your thoughts on the Primus? Have you looked into it? I have not. What form factor board is that? $75, huh? Zerkowski, what's up? Ass Milk asks, what switches? These are Alpacas. 75 made by Ilum KB. Drop the link in the chat. I can open it up. Take a quick look. Right now I'm pushing in all the switches to make sure they're seated correctly before I solder. Alright, let's check this out. Throw it up on the window capture. Is this the one that looked like an Alienware? Oh yeah, it looks cool. It looks like an Alienware. It's a pretty basic looking 75 from the top, and it has a lot of options for the back. I personally don't like the aesthetic that much, but it does have non-offset arrows, which a lot of my friends prefer. So the bottom row lines up with the arrow keys, which is pretty nice. But it does not have F13. Oh, it does have F13. It does. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I don't like the sides. I feel like I would get over it real fast. Crazyboy1179 asks, what kind of aesthetic do I like? The 7V is pretty sick. It's just I'm tired of 75. But 75, I only like the Satisfaction 75 because of the novelty of the OLED screen. It was different, and it entertained me. Alright, so we're good. I'm gonna trim off this used. This is what solder wick looks like when it's used. You want to trim off that part that's sucked up the solder. So my iron's been heating up. Ooh, 331 degrees Celsius. Let's get moving. I make sure I'm soldering at the right place. Can move my mouse. Crazy Boy asks if I could design a board, what would it look most similar to? I don't know. 75s are hard. I like the knob, but I saw an IC of a 65 with a knob and it looked really bad. I'm not much of a designer. If I see it, I can like it. If I don't, I don't. Crazy Boy 1179 asks, is my go-to a 75? It is not. I probably like 65 the most. I just got into the Noxray 268.2 GB because my buddy Zondat's running that. Let me angle this over. Get a better pickup. So this should pick up my voice a little bit better. That one almost had too much solder, started to bubble up. But we're in a good spot. The Space 65 Cyber Voyager looks really interesting. If you like that aesthetic, it's a solid buy. But I feel like if you get too exciting of a color, you might have issues with matching keycaps. But there's always monochromatic keycap sets. So for the experiment, for the category I'm streaming in, seems that the viewership is about the same. A little bit more on the makers and crafting. I went up to an average, what I'm seeing right now is 27. So for the rest of today, we'll hang out in makers and crafting, see if it goes up to the 30s and 40s. The path to partner is kind of crazy. You gotta have an average of 75 viewers. Zerkowski asked, did you see the Alice FF keyboard coming on KB fans? I see it. Yeah, I saw it. It's hard because I wouldn't want a hot swap. If I were to get a hot swap, I'd probably get a standard layout. It's cool that they're doing that layout though. It has the arrow keys. But that limits your options on compatible PCBs. Crazy Boy said that's a lot of viewers. Yeah, 75 average is crazy. So you would have to spike up like above 100, and then you would have to have a low of like 50 to average out. Because there's no way you'll have like 75 consistent. But we're working on it. I tweeted this today. I didn't post it in KBD fans, I don't think. If you guys want to help me out, to post it in KBD fans. Nice. McDonald's is hiring right now? I guess it makes sense. They're still working. It's a restaurant. You can't walk into the restaurants though, right? Crazy Boy 1179 asks, what board have I heard about that I'm interested in ICRGB? Not much. I'm more excited about the boards that are actually shipping. I can get them on extras. I'm not really much of a GB fan. I don't like the weight. So right now I'm excited about the Iron 165 shipping. And I ended up in a few GBs already. I'm in the Profit because I really want to try out the different plates and the seamless design. I bought a gasket 00 spot because I missed it myself. So that's 260s right there. Nice, Sarkowski. I know you've been a little bit tight on the monies. Good for you to get a job and pay for the hobby, since you're a youngin' too. Some youngins try to justify flipping switches to try to get nicer boards. I'm like, dude, you're 15 years old. You don't need a $1,000 keyboard. Zakowski, you got the board and the PCB yet, or are you still gonna hunt for that? Did you finally settle on the Telios? Dude, I'm like on my last set of stabs. I need to get some more. Amazon needs to restock. Nice. And the board is the hardest thing to get, so in a good spot. maybe consider seeing if you can get in the KBD67 Mark II and just sell your Tofu 65. Just because it's coming by so fast. It's a pretty nice upgrade over the Tofu 65. As long as you have the capacity to sell it. Some people just don't want to sell stuff because it's a hassle. Nice. Alright, if you're that tight on the budget, just keep the Tofu 65. The Ducky's a solid board too. Alright, this one bubbled, so let's fix it. So if you saw, as soon as it started heating up, I let go of the wick and I held it by this, or I moved it further because this is essentially metal. The heat's going to travel through. So you don't want to be holding on to it at that point. And you just snip off the end and throw it away. So now that joint is no longer bubbled right there. I'll add a little bit more solder because it looks really skinny right now. Now it looks like a clean joint. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. Oh, this is low. This one. Can I get closer? Can I get closer? Yeah. Looks like a little volcano. Zakowski, nice. Tofu 65 is still solid. Crazy Boy asked if there's a long wait list for the KVD67 Mark II. That's just an email list. It just means there's a lot of people interested. It's not really a wait list. Chances are definitely slim. I agree. But if you have nothing to lose, like Zarkowski, since you already have a board, might as well give it a try. So you have like 2 chances to get it. But that kind of requires that you have a little bit more discretionary budget right now. Crazy Boy 1179, why not go for the Savage 65? KBD 67 Mark II is a good option for hot swap board in that price range. Savage 65 is nicer, but it doesn't look as sexy, dude. It looks way nicer than the Savage 65 aesthetically. Although that rear weight, the back weight, some people don't like. It's like a grill. The better Ginger asked if I've seen the new Polycarb MK Mark II. I've heard about it. Not all that interested in it. The switch has a bent pin. Pull it out and fix it. There we go. Back in business. For sure, if you don't have your first board, or you already have your first board, go for the Decent 65. That is going to be nicer, Anno, than KBD fans. Definitely not a budget board, but if you already have one, you want to go and upgrade. So the Tofu 65 and the KBD 67 Mark II are more like either or. And once you've already had one, it's kind of redundant to get the other one. Whereas the Decent 65 is a solid upgrade. Vega will be a solid board. Yeah, whenever that actually gets made. The Vega is the Polaris, but in the 65 layout, right? I've been waiting for that one too. But it looks like the designers have been having a lot of issues making it sound good. Yeah, I'm in a 65 Polaris. Polaris has been sounding amazing. Yeah, definitely. It's going to take more time, but it's going to be well worth the wait if it sounds good. Let's see what music is playing right now. Alright, we're cool. Chill step mix. Let's see. I'm gonna play something else. Just to make sure I don't get all my audio taken out. I don't know if that was a no copyright playlist, they just auto-played. It's not a big deal for me. These streams are just going on YouTube for convenience. Decent 65 and Savage are not the same caliber, I agree. Zakowski asked if I'm playing copyright songs. I shouldn't, because the person who owns the copyright can take down the audio from the video. HJ-75 is burger mount, right? How does that compare to normal top mount? It's just a more... You just gotta listen to my sound test, man. Burger mount's gonna make it sound... It's hard to describe. Sarcastic, unfortunately I cannot pull up a specific song, especially with copyright issues. My bad, man. Try and make sure I don't cover this with my fat hand. There you go. Hypermode Alt asks if there's a type of solder that generates less fumes. They all generate fumes. You're gonna need a fume extractor no matter what, man. If you want to be safe about it anyway. Zerkowski, send me that via DM and I'll check it out later, man. Savage 65 over Decent 65 for the budget and in stock. My 2 cents anyway. Crazy Boy 1179, welcome to the hobby. You can also skip the wait if you pay aftermarket prices, but that sucks too. Alright, thanks Sikorsky. I'll check it out after the stream. What kind of genre is it? Hope you guys like that. I'm not... When I've been streaming before, my monitor has the... Ooh. Look at my arm. My monitor has the chat up there, so I'm like doing this. Trying to read. But now that I have a little tablet down here, so I can just like look up without looking like a wild animal to see what the chat is saying. Jazz, huh? That's dope. Let's see. WireX asks, is black inks the most thocky switch from my experience? Yes. The board is going to have a lot to do with the thocky experience. But in terms of like switch to switch, the Gathering ink has a very nice deep sound. And you can make it sound even deeper by using an acrylic board such as this. Acrylic thock is really nice. The Random Box Unbox said he's very lucky to get this board from me, and that's true because I waited two months for this board. It was like a quick little pre-order. Very hard to get because it wasn't publicized that much. Sold out within a few minutes. And Random Box Unbox hit me up because he wanted a board, and we were trying to get him a HJ-75, but unfortunately it fell through. So I was like, you know what, man? You're pretty cool, dude.
I'll show you my board. So he's able to get this without a weight. It's a little bit nicer quality than the KBDs. It has a very nice sound signature and typing experience. The Random Box Unbox has been very helpful to me too. He's been fronting a lot of stuff because he's already commissioned me for a second board, even though he hasn't received the first one yet. So I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Random Box Unbox is his YouTube channel and YouTube handles. Check out his videos. He unboxes pretty interesting stuff. He's moving into doing more keyboard stuff. He's been reviewing a lot of artisans. So if you're not into the artisan game where to the point where you really want the nicest ones that are super expensive, check out his. He's been reviewing a lot of these artisan makers that don't have limited raffle runs, so it's a little bit easier to acquire. Zerkowski says, let's pick up Zorbathane. You can go with shelf liner from Home Depot. Zerkowski asks if I have extra TX films. I don't have them for sale, unfortunately. I have to hold on to them for builds. I keep getting new switches in to test. I just recently bought new films. Some keyboard films. If TX doesn't have them in stock, try thick films from Jinra and KBD fans. Or try out some... That music's too loud. Try out Kibo films. Shelf liner does work. Go with a 1/8 inch or thinner if possible. I used the 1/8 inch shelf liner from Home Depot. It's like $9. This one definitely bubbled, so we're cleaning again. I'll show you what the bubble looks like. Oh, it's like focus right here. Let's see if I can get a side angle. Right there, you can see it's bubbled. It's like circular, not volcano. TX films are just the most accessible, but thick films has been pretty good for a lot of people. People have been reporting to Jinra that it's much deeper than TX films. You can test it for yourself. In my experience, they're about the same. But it's going to depend on the switch in the board as well. I just did a quick test on my Think 6.5, which is a pretty thocky sound already, so it's not going to really be affected by films as much. Because thick PC integrated plate is super thocky. And honestly, even my KBD 65 has been super thocky due to the MK Ultra foam. I see you later, Bamboo. Thanks for hanging out. Peace. TX films are thicker, so I would believe that they're a little bit more durable, but I don't think Kibo films are going to be bad by any stretch. They're still polycarbonate. It's not like it's going to break. The better ginger asphalt board am I looking forward to that that I've ordered. Dude, I'm looking forward to my trade finishing. I'm gonna get a really nice endgame board from my HJ-75 trade. Alright. Let's move this trash out of the way. Just paper towels and stuff. Alright, let's lower the light. These LEDs are freaking bright. Alright, Random Box Unbox, you really wanted these LEDs and they're freaking bright. It looks cool though. Alright, we're gonna do a sound test. Not a sound test real quick, we're gonna do a typing key tester to make sure everything works. Make sure I solder everything properly before I put the keycaps on. Nice. I like this. I soldered with the method shown in the graphic earlier, and it's been really beneficial because soldering has been much more consistent. And this is gonna be delete, home, page up, page down, and got print screen. It's mapped to pause right now, but I usually did print screen for this one. No, I can't see it. This is print screen right here. The F13 is print screen. The paper towel was for lube. I have another paper towel here. It's a little stain right here from lube. I've been lubing my switches as proof, lube. And you would not use 25G0 for stupid stuff on my lube deck or my lube station. I was gonna do a lubing stream for this one, but I already did that, so I didn't want to do it again. Amazon restocked Durock's full size. Did they? Because let me turn this off because I'm gonna go to my personal Amazon. Amazon Durock. Not Durock. Zuggear Durock. Let's see. Nah, that's still out of stock, man. I mean, I already ordered it. I see you, Zerkowski. Thanks for hanging out. Cool. So now that everything is put together, let us put the board together. Here are the parts for the board. Let me move my iron aside to not burn myself. Just put it all the way back there. So I didn't want to go back to the zoom because to get that tight shot, just some camera info here, to get that tight shot I had to actually go use digital zoom. Thanks for the follow, bman33. So I had to do digital zoom, so the quality's gonna be less, but in terms of like streaming, you're not gonna really see the difference in quality, but I want to keep it as high quality as possible. So now we're back on the regular 4K, no digital zoom, but it's 4K downsample to 720p because I like to stream 720p for viewership. Thanks for the follow, Edward3511BP. Alright. So plates here. This goes on top. It's a sandwich mount board. So there's one screw that goes through everything. This is kind of the hard part. My bag of screws. I need a Phillips head screwdriver.
BMan33, quick unrelated question. Do you suggest TX films or thick films for Vint Blacks? Either will work. I am using TX films. Mostly because I have them. I have some thick films too. People have reported that the thick films are deeper in sound. But Vint Blacks, I've learned that they're known for their clack. So why make that deeper by using thick films? Assuming people are correct in saying they're deeper sounding. I need this thing to catch. It's not catching. Yeah, no problem. It's not catching, so I'm not going to force it. Let's see what's going on. I gotta look inside to see the hole. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. It's so difficult. Maybe if I just stick it all the way through and then line up after. So this is all the way in. Here we go. That's lined up. Gotta lift that loop plate. Dang it, I moved it. It's difficult because the bottom plate for the HJ-75 is not actually the same width as the other two sandwich acrylic plates, which is also not the same size as the alley plate on top. Yeah, I got it. Just gotta screw this in. There we go. We're catching. Alright, cool. One. Turn up the light a bit. Alright. Sorry you see my white thighs. It's getting warm. So whenever I screw things in, I try to get the corners first. So let's do the other corner. Got that in there. Now it'll lift either side. My tablet turned off. Okay. Ooh. Tablet went wild. Whenever you're screwing into acrylic or PC, I would make sure it's just hand tight. If you screw too much, you're likely to strip the threads on the plastic, and that's not going to be good, because it will no longer screw in, or unscrew for that matter, but mostly the screwing in, keeping it together. Some people are proponents of using electric screwdrivers. Costs too much money for me. I like this one, which is in my keyboard links page. So just type !keyboard links, you see the products I use. Feel free to ask me questions on stream, on YouTube, via Discord. This is suggestions as to what to use.
Edward351BP says this board looks really cool. I agree. Really nice design. Very simple. Acrylic and aluminum. You get the aesthetic of having an aluminum top, but you also get the RGB underglow. I can show you right now why I put this together. Of the acrylic bottom. I put it on rainbow because I'm a pleb. I think Random Box Unbox is gonna enjoy it on rainbow as well. He's a fan of the colors. I'm not unplugging because I keep entering keys. Ron Zekin asked, what's your preferred switch type? I like linears. Lala Ian said, Merlin done cooking with his wife yet? I'm not sure if he's done cooking with his wife. Let's chill. I'm trying to eat right now too. Well, I need to go buy food for my fiance. Could she let me do this stream? Because I've been pretty busy with keyboard stuff every night. It's important to spend time with your significant other as well. It depends on if they're like meal prepping. I think meal prepping is going to take a little bit of time. Thanks for the follow, Flixie. Random Box Unbox, you know how you said I could keep the keycap puller? Came in handy because I broke my keycap puller. Well, I broke the switch puller side. Powerful gamer. Dude, I suck at games. I'm major bad. Major. What's up, Silverian? Welcome back. Let's see, let's check the chat. Lala Island asked what my fiance's hobby is. Let's see. She is a designer, but she likes flipping clothing. She buys like stuff from Goodwill and stuff. She knows brands really well, and she flips that. So we are a family of flippers. But she's been on the Animal Crossing kick too. Random Box Unbox, I still recommend the combo one from Amazon. So here's the thing: for switch pullers, the IC puller from just typical computer parts, it's great for the middle switches. But when you hit the bottom, it's not that little right angle part. It's too thick to actually grab the switches at the bottom. You're not gonna get hot swap boards, so you're not gonna worry about it. The RAMA one is trash because it keeps bending. You can see it's bent right now. See how it's bent open? But this angle is thinner, so I can actually grab the switches at the bottom. Keycap puller, I'm using the one from KVD fans. They gave it to me. But any keycap puller, as long as it's wire, if you have something longer, like this section being longer, you can stack more keycaps when you're pulling them off. So I'd recommend that. But yeah, you just get the one from Amazon, and honestly, if it breaks, just buy another one. Because the RAMA one's really bad. I wouldn't pay extra RAMA premium for it. I just realized the chat was not in the stream the entire day. Oh well. Let's see. Lala Island, is the Novelkey one just as bad as the RAMA one? The Novelkeys one is an IC puller but rebranded.
So I feel like it would have the same issue. I saw the photo and it looks very similar in proportions as this. Can I just show you up here? Focus. Yeah. I think honestly this stream doesn't really need to go on YouTube, since it's like a redo. So I don't really need the chat. No, it's not the RAMA. It's not the same as a RAMA. It's gonna be more like an IC puller, so it's pretty solid. I should be getting one in soon. I ordered it from Novelkeys for my buddy because we did a group buy, so I can let you know. I'm sure those aren't gonna run. Those are not gonna run out of stock. Yeah, I got some blueberries in too. That's the same order, and I ended up grabbing violet on cream. I'm gonna give that a try. Try it on my lighter board, see how it looks. How long is the stream going? 2.5 hours. Time flies when you're having fun. I really hate that saying. But I wanted to give y'all a lot of value from coming through since this was a rebuild stream. So I wanted to show you the new GMK packaging. I wanted to show you some tips on how to solder better, as I learned them, of course. And I put these in the wrong spot. Keycap puller, where'd I put you? How do I have all this stuff on my desk and can't find a keycap puller? Going to watch Extraction? Yeah, dude, it's a good movie. The cinematography in it is amazing. I nerded out for real. Where'd I put that keycap puller? Just blended in with my stuff. Random Box Unbox asked if I watched 1917. I did not. What is that? Lose 7V official. Nice. Congratulations for committing. I'm trying to get out of 75s. I think I flipped these two. Oh shoot. One take the entire movie? That sounds crazy. And this stock is so freaking nice, Random Box Unbox. If anyone's selling GMK Olive, let me know. I'm trying to get us for Random Box Unbox. I kind of swooped it from him. Want to make sure he gets that olive love. Alright. I know you've all heard this before, but let's do a quick little sound test of it again. Let's plug it in all of its glory. There's a indicator LEDs, caps lock. Let me see if I can turn off the scroll lock. Nice. Got a new viewer, Random Box Unbox. Alright, so let's see. So what we got here. Let's make sure the on-screen keyboard so I can see scroll lock. Yep, turning off scroll lock, numlock, caps lock. Cool. Let's leave the scroll lock and numlock on just for aesthetics. $20 soap. Crazy. I saw his video for that Segway thing blew up. That's pretty interesting. All right. Let's go for speed today. I'll show you my wrist rest here real quick. Oh, that's nice. The underglow is coming through. The PC right here. Ooh. Can we move it here? Yeah, let's move it here. Let's move it out of the way. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get messed up. Let me change the backspace real quick. I don't want to embarrass myself. Is it gonna work? Hold on. Let's run this again. I have the TX software open. Exit it out. Cool, there we go. I got the wrist rest as a part of a private group buy. It was advertised kind of publicly for OC in LA. My buddy designed it, and he did a run prior, and then he did another run, and I got it in the second run. It's literally the same as a Keycaps wrist rest though. Alright, let's do the test. I mapped this to backspace. Lala knows it before. I use split backspace, so if I don't solder in backspace, I just change this from pipe key to backspace, and I change backspace to pipe key. Alright, let's go. This is the HJ-75 with Alpacas. We're going to do a sound test. HJ-75 is an stacked acrylic board with aluminum top. I got the Durock stabilizer in here. I had to mod the plate for it to fit. And this is, let me make sure all these caps are in. This is the it's ePBT keycaps, the RAMA heavy industry. And we're going to do a 50-word sound test for the speed. Let's do it again. All right. I'm off of my typing today, but just wanted to get the sound test out again. It's gonna sound like the last build, same switches, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions on the board. We're gonna end the stream because I'm freaking hungry. We're gonna stream in a few minutes, but hang out for a little bit. Yeah, Random Box Unbox. I'm glad this board is completely done for you. Sorry about the issues with the indicator LEDs. Sorry for having to delay the shipment to you, but we'll get this out for you on Monday. Looks like USPS is catching up on shipments within the contiguous United States, so it should get over to you soon before the end of the week. Yeah, and unfortunately I'm not going to give you this wrist rest. I love this thing, even though it doesn't fit my boards. I have 60s and 65s right now. But yeah, acrylic sound, if you listen to that sound test, is really deep and talky, and I love it. Yeah, dude, you're going to love this board. The ePBT actually brings out more of the talk, so it's great. Yeah, the wrist rest with the RGB, oof, It's nice, huh? I need to get another RGB board that is TKL. I think I finished my Ooh! My wrist, my mat is dirty. I splashed it. Hold on. Wait. I can clean this, but I need to end the stream. Thanks for everyone who hung out with me. I need to go clean my my Deskmat. Luckily, it's a dark color. Yeah, it was a rebuild stream, but hopefully I gave you a lot of value on how to solder, and I did the tight shots from the top. And I answered any questions. There's cool new GBs coming out. Like I said before, don't buy stuff on the secondhand market. People are charging way too much money for everything, especially switches. $1 stock switches, no. Don't buy. Don't feed into those flippers. If you want to commission me for a build, I can't design the board. I can't get you a board. I can help you buy on a Reddit mech market. But like Lala Island said, the supply has been pretty low, unfortunately. So if you have a board on hand and want me to build it, feel free to contact me via Discord. !more commissions. You'll be able to get more information. I have a page on my website, andyvnewen.com/commissions. I love building boards. I'm not the best at it, but I'm learning, and I will not mess up your board. If I'm making any mistakes on your board, I will replace the parts required to get you the board that we promised. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be up on stream Monday or Tuesday to build the green Cyber 65. I'll be building it with the H1s, which are essentially recolors of the Alpaca and the mobs. Individually, the switch sounds deeper, but over the course of the full board and you get the average sound, it sounds very, very, very similar. Frantics had a last minute question. Why do you think GAT inks are the best? The GAT inks have a very special sound due to the housing. It's very unique. There's a GAT ink sound that isn't really replicated with mobs and Alpacas or any other Durock / JWK switches. It's just special. Tangies are smoother, but they don't sound as good, in my opinion. Some people really love Tangies, and due to the LTT video, it's been really hype. And yeah, if you want to go for that, go for it. I love GAT inks though. GAT ink black. But that's it. I'm gonna end the stream right here. See y'all next time, Monday or Tuesday. I've been trying to put up my schedule on the Twitch page. Follow me on Twitter too. I post there sometimes in other Discords, and mostly Twitter and the actual Twitch page when I'm going to go on stream. Thanks for hanging out. See y'all later. Bye.